This episode of WDW Today is being sponsored by Mouse Fan Travel. And you know what? If you're planning a trip to Walt Disney World, you might say, well, I could book Mouse Fan Travel for their great service they offer, the great deals they get. But you know what? Why not get something for free while you're booking your trip? That's right. Right now, if you can get 1 year free subscription to touringplans.com and Lines if you book a qualifying package of 5 nights or more to Walt Disney World. That's right. You get a free 1 year subscription just by booking through Mouse Fan Travel. You need to be booking for any packages made between January 1st, 2011 and September 30th, 2011. How cool is that? Free subscription and great service. Check them out online at www.mousefantravel.com.
Bringing the world to your world, this is Walt Disney World Today. Here are Mike Scopa, Len Testa, Mike Newell, and your host, Matt Hochberg.
It's Wednesday, January 5th, 2010, and this is episode 821 of WDW Today. I'm Matt Hochberg from StudiosCentral.com. Joining me on today's show is Mike Newell of Mouse World Radio. And Mike,
yes, sir.
I am happy to announce, well, I'm happy and very jealous,
yes,
but happy to announce that you and the fabulous Annette will be representing WDW Today, reporting live from the Disney Dream on January 19th and 20th. And I'm jealous because I could have gone, but I can't because of certain events going on in my personal life. Evidently, it's not cool to leave your wife with a newborn. Don't know why. But anyway.
Take the newborn. This would be your first cruise.
Let's see. You can't take the newborn, and if you go, you could always find out what happens if you do.
But anyway, Mike, I am very jealous that you get to go check out the Disney Dream. How excited are you?
I'm really excited. We got a lot of cool stuff planned, both video and audio live. So check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. Me and Annette and special guest Deb Wills will be on board.
Oh, man. Big celebrities, too?
We got the big names. I have a couple others up my sleeve I can't announce just yet, but I'm working on some really cool people.
When I do live events, all I get is like stupid people like Henry Work. Who cares?
Henry!
Speaking of Henry, also joining us on today's show is Len Testa, co-author of the Initial Guide to Walt Disney World, which is, of course, at touringplans.com. How the heck are you, Len?
Awesome, Matt. How are you? So I'm getting ready for my second and third Walt Disney World trips of the year.
Nice.
Which is next weekend and the weekend after that. So
wow.
I will not have missed a weekend in Walt Disney World as of the third weekend of January.
Welcome to my world.
I know.
Was that
right?
your New Year's resolution?
Yeah,
to be in Disney every weekend?
My New Year's resolution is 11 trips this year.
That's also, coincidentally, if your New Year's resolution was to be in Walt Disney World every weekend, that was also Annette's New Year's resolution for you to be in Walt Disney World every weekend.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I totally got that.
Also joining us on today's show is Mike Scopa, a senior feature writer and blogger for allears.net. Welcome, Mike.
This tool-building process has created a rich bounty of new ideas, from microchips to robotics, from rocket-powered spacesuits to computerized sailing ships. Virtually every aspect of our lives has been enriched by human innovation.
Spaceship Earth?
Nope.
The TTA?
Yeah.
The silence is deafening.
Splashtacular?
Was it? It's Epcot, right?
It's Epcot.
Is it in Innovations?
Nope.
World of Motion.
It's not Horizons.
Nope.
Communicore.
Nope. Keep trying, kid. You get it.
They call me the Get It Kid.
Morocco.
I'm sorry to say it's not Morocco.
I don't know.
What is it?
Living Seas.
Really?
Wow.
Where?
Somewhere in the hydrolator, apparently. When my ears always pop from the pressure.
Exactly. Also joining us on today's show is the fabulous Annette Owens, a manager of customer relations and group services for MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. Welcome to the show, Annette.
Hey, I'm packing. I already started packing, getting ready for my
Packing heat.
for my trip for the
Packing heat.
No, I'm going on the Dream with Mike. We're going to do that, and then I'm in Disney for 2 days, and then right back on the Dream again. So I have lots of packing to do.
You're going to be Julie to his Captain Stubing, the captain to his Tennille.
Oh, the
Sounds
Tennille
like-
to his captain.
Hey, Tennille to his captain. That's right. Okay.
Captain to his Tennille.
Whatever.
I'll wear
Nothing,
the
there's
silly-
anything wrong with that.
Gilligan to his skipper.
Oh, the jokes.
Well, it's Wednesday. We're answering your listener questions. We'll start with the first email from George Long of Boston, Massachusetts. I keep hearing in your podcast how much food is provided on the dining plan. My wife and I think there isn't enough food and that they charge too much for so little. If my memory is correct, when they first started the dining plan, they offered an entree, appetizer, and dessert. Now they just offer an entree and dessert. I know they're subtracted something. Please stop saying that there is too much food. Not everyone thinks there is too much food. If Disney listens to this podcast, they'll take away more food and charge us more for it. Great podcast, by the way.
I don't think that's the case. I think that the selections have been reduced. I don't know about the amount of food. I just think that some of the selections have been reduced in some of the restaurants, but I'm still thinking there's a lot of food there.
Well, George is right. The original dining plan used to have appetizer, entree, dessert, and including gratuity, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, which the appetizer's gone, gratuity you got to pay on your own. I agree with you, George. They took away stuff and the price did not drop, as I recall. Interesting, huh? Very good. Thank you, George. Next email is from Todd Whirl of Quincy, Washington. First of all, thank you guys and gal for your hard work. I wanted to send you an email about our latest stay at Disney World. We stayed at Kidani Village at Animal Kingdom at the beginning of December and loved it. It was a great place to stay, and it wasn't as far to travel to the other parks as I thought it would be. Of course, I do have one little complaint of the resort. While we were there, I wanted to go out for a little jog around 5 miles. When I called down to the front desk to request a running spot at the resort, it felt like I was the first one to ever inquire about this. They said I could run from Kidani to Jambo House, which is about half a mile. I was a little bummed out, however. They do have a great fitness center. You might want to mention this. You might have mentioned this before, but for a resort destination such as Disney World that holds quite a few running events, the resorts I've stayed in aren't quite runner friendly. I've seen a few people now and then running on the side of the road on the grass, and I have done this myself, which isn't the safest path, but it does work. Just wanted to get your thoughts on this as well as the runners of the group. Thanks again for your time and passion in keeping so many of us occupied during our workouts.
Cool. Yeah, I don't think some of the resorts are very runner friendly. Animal Kingdom, Kidani. I mean, unless you're going to hop over the fence and run through the savannah, you should totally do that barefoot like Zola Bud too.
Nice reference.
Thank you. It was South African. Thank you. So it fit. I don't think there's there's a lot of places to run. Like Old Key West, you could run. For Wilderness, you could run, but you're competing with cars there.
Yeah, Fort Wilderness was one second on my mind, but yeah, there are the whole buses everywhere.
I've run in Fort Wilderness. It's not terrible. It's just you got to watch out for the buses, especially if you just run on the opposite side of the street. Right. But even then, there's quite a bit of traffic.
Best places are the mods, Coronado Springs.
Yeah, I think so too.
Caribbean, Port Orleans, Riverside. Those are the best. If you're at the beach club, you can run around. If you're at beach club, yacht club, boardwalk, you can run from those resorts to the studios and back. It's not a far run, but it's a pretty good run. But Len's right. The Animal Kingdom, Contemporary, Polynesian. Although I guess you could run a little bit around there, but you have to be really careful because it doesn't matter how early in the morning you get up. There's always traffic around there.
Next email is from Chris from Old Lyme, Connecticut. I have questions regarding my family's upcoming trip to Walt Disney World. My first question stems from the recent announcement of Toontown being closed after February 11th, 2011. My wife and I are taking our 6 and 4-year-old daughters on their first trip to Walt Disney World from February 19th to March 1st. In preparation for the trip, I've been poring over both the Unofficial Guide to Walt Disney World 2011 and the Unofficial Guide for Kids 2011, and also have a premium subscription to touringplans.com. We were planning on using the Magic Kingdom 2-day touring plan for parents with small children, but wondered how we second-day touring plan should be modified given the closure of Toontown.
All right, so day 2 has, after you go through Tomorrowland, it does Barnstormer, Mickey's Country House, Donald's Boat, Minnie's Country House, and then Railroad from Toontown to Frontierland. The interesting thing will be whether the Barnstormer actually closes with Toontown on February 11th. I've heard a rumor that if there's anything that's going to be spared, that might be it. Assuming it's closed, though, and you want to do autographs for the princesses or fairies or Mickey Mouse, that would be a good time when you're in Tomorrowland to hike down Main Street to the Exposition Hall and get Mickey and Minnie's autograph. Now, the princesses are making their way to... The fairies are making their way to Epcot, right?
The fairies are going to Epcot Tinkerbell's going to the
except for
studios.
Tink, who's going to the studios. The princesses are supposed to be spreading out to different lands, right? So Ariel in her human form is already in Adventureland. And then the other princesses are going to be walking around. For that, you'll just have to check the daily entertainment schedule to see where those folks end up, where those face characters end up. And then, so that'd be a good time to do those autographs. After that, you pick up in Adventureland. And then it's pretty smooth sailing after that.
Okay. What if you wanted to skip all together, Len? What if you said, well, you wanted to
just go Tomorrowland to Adventureland and follow the rest of the plan.
My second question is in regards to my wife running the Princess Half Marathon on February 27th. Since we'll be staying at the Beach Club Resort, I was wondering what would be the fastest and most convenient way for her to get to the Epcot entrance on race morning at about 4 a.m., since we weren't planning on having a car and the International Gateway will be closed. I was thinking a taxi, but wondered if you had any better ideas.
I was thinking it must be a bus.
For the Princess, remember, it's only from select resorts, isn't it?
Oh, you're right.
Because I see that the Dolphin and there wasn't transportation.
Well, for the Wine and Dine, was I at the Beach Club? I think I stayed at the Beach Club, and I had to walk to the Yacht Club to get a bus to do the Wine and Dine.
Check with Disney because one of those resorts there will be bus transportation from one of them. One of the Epcot resorts. Maybe not from everyone, but from one of them there will be.
Okay. Next email is from a good friend of mine, Danette from Chattanooga, Tennessee. So the 4th of July is a huge deal for my family and me. Both my husband and I are veterans. My dad is retired Navy. My brother served. My brother-in-law is still serving. Well, you get the point. Very patriotic family. And ever since I was old enough to hold a punk, I've been lighting off fireworks. What's a punk?
Oh, a punk is we used to use those when we were kids. It's like a stick that
brown stick of some kind.
Yeah, it's almost like I want to say it's like incense.
Like incense, yeah, Mike, yeah.
And you light it, and
Cue the Jimi Hendrix music.
Keep the mosquitoes away.
And you would light it, and it would stay lit like for hours. So you can use that.
Hippies. All right, go ahead.
Sorry.
Anyway, okay. Thanks for the history lesson, Mike.
Your patchouli and your.
I haven't referred to that as a punk in 30-something years.
If I have to pick one holiday a year to travel home to celebrate with my family, it would be the 4th of July, not Christmas. I'm 32 years old, and I've only spent the 4th of July away from home only 3/4 without lighting off fireworks myself, and one of those fourths was actually spent at Disneyland, which, by the way, was the first time I didn't cry because I wasn't with the family. Having said all that, we're tentatively planning a trip to the world July 3rd through 9th, 2011, for our daughter's first birthday, which is on July 8th, and we wanted to make the most of the special fireworks that they held on the 4th. I saw in the match...
Just choked up by the letter. Sorry, go ahead.
Is there something funny about July 4th?
No, I'm coughing.
Oh my goodness.
Smooth. Yeah, I'm ready for my race. Go ahead.
I saw that in the Magic Kingdom during 2010. Most of the special fireworks, I saw in the Magic Kingdom 20. I can't read. I saw that in the Magic Kingdom 2010 actually did special shows on the 3rd and 4th, and then Illuminations had a special tag on the 4th, and then Hollywood Studios had a special 4th of July show. We've pretty much decided that if it's the same for 2011, we want to see the fireworks at the Magic Kingdom on the 3rd, and most likely Illuminations on the 4th. Oh, Danette. Strikes dear to my heart. Although, if we can make it work, I wouldn't be opposed to trying to make both Illuminations and the show at Hollywood Studios, but if not, my husband, I have to let him choose some things we do on our trips, wants to see Illuminations with the tag because that's his favorite fireworks at Walt Disney World. So here's my question. As the parks will be busy, do you recommend getting there early and staying there all day, or can we get in a few hours prior to the shows and still get in? We're not getting there until mid-morning on the 3rd, and I don't think it'll be an issue so much on the 3rd as it will be on the 4th.
It'd be fine.
As we will have a 1-year-old, I need to plan accordingly if we need to get at Epcot early and spend the whole day there without an afternoon break.
I really think if they get to Epcot like 3 or 4 o'clock, they'll be fine because people will start leaving then. For the Magic Kingdom, I don't think they may. There's a chance they might get crowd controlled on Sunday on the 3rd, but I don't think it's going to reach that kind of capacity yet. On the 4th, if you're going to Epcot, yeah, absolutely no problems.
Yeah, the Magic Kingdom's the only one you're going to have to worry about the park closing. I mean,
yeah, my only concern is that July 3rd is a Sunday, and if the word gets out that they're going to preview the 4th of July fireworks on the 3rd, that's not bad. But if that's a problem, right? If you get there and you can't get in, go to the Poly.
Oh yeah, that's true. You can watch from over there. Good point.
It's fantastic. Yeah, go watch from there.
It's probably easier for the kid also.
Yeah, exactly. Bathrooms are more accessible. You got food right there.
Take note, Matt.
Yeah, then we'll have a little baby
powwow.
day. Yeah, exactly. Next email is from Wendy from Rothesay, New Brunswick, Canada. Oh, Rothesay. Oh, man, I butchered that one. My son, 7, and I just returned from our first trip, February 2010. Had the time of our lives. In the 2 months leading up to our trip, I listened to each and every WDW Today podcast, and thank goodness I did, as I felt very well prepared. From having my little Tupperware containers before the dessert party leftovers, thanks, Annette.
Nice.
Love it.
To being at the parks before opening, to having our red Canadian Olympic mitts for watching the second, much less busy, Fantasmic show in the near freezing temperatures. We stayed at... What was that?
I said, huh.
We stayed at Scopa Towers and loved it. Never waited more than 12 minutes for a bus. Although, we did wait 31 and 38 minutes respectively at Animal Kingdom Lodge and the Poly after meals. We created our own touring plans based on the unofficial guides, recommended attraction visitation times. One comment. We bought the Disney dining plan. Won't do that again. It was great for the first time as we did try many different restaurants, but now that I know just how much food it is, should have listened to Annette, and how much we wasted, not so. Oh, Annette, you got your number one fan over here.
Who's wrapping them up in tinfoil?
Somebody's popping corn?
Open a bag of chips.
We bought the water parks and more option on our package. It was also a waste. Visited Disney Quest 3 times just so I could feel we got our money's worth. But as you say, Disney Quest is a waste of time. I would suggest only buying one Magic Your Way base tickets, as you can add the water parks and more, as well as park hoppers at the parks if you deem necessary.
Yep.
So we're planning our next trip to Walt Disney World for a 14-day trip, planning on staying at Pop Century again. But I'm thinking I'll get myself and my son annual passes. We'll be likely going back in the fall of 2011 as well. How soon do I need to book my hotel? Should I just book my hotel now and then keep searching for discounts? Or will they apply the discounts when they come available? How do annual pass hotel discounts work? It's a good question for Annette, your hero.
Well, yeah. I always recommend that you go on and book, especially since you want to stay at Pop. Go on and book it. Then when you see the discount comes out, call them to have them apply it. Because if you've got your heart set on Pop, you'd really hate to be waiting for that annual pass holder discount to come out, and then your dates be blocked out or something, and you don't get the dates you need, especially 14 nights. That's a long time.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. Scott, but when you plan a trip, not like a last minute trip, how far in advance do you typically book your resort?
I would say probably, if I know, 6 months.
Okay.
I mean, the longest was 2 years one time back in the 90s.
Wow.
But now it's like 6 months. And if we're doing an event, I might even do it 12 months ahead.
Wow.
Cool. Well, next email's from Mark from Sydney, Australia. Just listened to episode 699, and I felt I had a comment. An attraction I doubt they will ever change in any way, and I don't know how it would be possible, is the Jungle Cruise. And of course, they'll probably never change the cornerstones of Main Street, the cinema, barber, fire station, guest relations. The most obvious remnants I saw on my last visit were the whole Wonders of Life Pavilion. Not sure if it's still there now, and the old Skyway stations. And let's not forget the now seasonal Diamond Horseshoe Review and Pleasure Island.
Well,
the Wonders of Life is still there.
It's physically there, but it's not open.
Yeah, we were there during reunion. And Scott, would you like to describe what the inside of Wonders of Life looks like these days?
Well, it's gee, thanks, Matt. The Wonders of Life Pavilion is used for it's like a welcome center for the International Flower Show and for the Food and Wine celebration. And during Food and Wine and during the flower festivals, they will have exhibitions there, and they will have demonstrations, and there'll be all kinds of goodies there. And basically the first floor is all of that. And they've cleaned it up really nice. Not that it was dirty, but it's nice and bright and sunny in there. I really miss some of the things that the Wonders of Life Pavilion had, but at least they're making use of that pavilion.
Cool, thank you. Next email is Ryan Verrier of Appleton, Wisconsin. Some of my favorite memories of Walt Disney World are a direct result of the ambient music that is playing in the background. On my last trip in August, the ambient music playing inside and outside of the electric umbrella in Future World is my favorite trip memory. I remember waiting for my food and loving the fact, I was actually shocked, that nobody else was really there and that I had 8 days of Walt Disney World bliss in front of me. So I'm wondering, what is some of your favorite ambient music within the parks? Thanks so much, and keep up the awesome job you all do. This is a great question. Len, why don't you start us off, since you listen to Mouse World Radio about 23 hours of the day?
Yeah, I actually have it playing now in my ear as I talk. So excuse me if I'm long. I like the Epcot fountain music a lot. I really like the Magic Kingdom opening loop, the one that Master World Radio plays at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. I think that one's fantastic. Those are my two favorites, I think, because the reason why I like the Magic Kingdom was it goes attraction by attraction, and you get a little slice of everything.
I really think that Epcot's got so much great music. I love the Epcot entrance loop, like the 2006 version or so. So it includes like Soarin', which has a great loop by itself, but the Soarin', the Q music is really good. I love the Tower of Terror area music.
Yeah.
It's not the one that you hear like on Hollywood. It's that it has old timey songs. It's just so great. I think it fits so well.
You know what's funny? You know what's nice about that track is it's kind of haunting. It's hard to explain, but it's
slow,
haunting.
sort of like,
yeah, and you kind of get that that depression area kind of mood when you hear it. It fits
Exactly.
It fits the attraction perfectly.
Oh, absolutely. It's great. I love it. What about you, Scoba? What's your favorite ambient music in the parks?
Actually, Matt, one memory that always sticks out in my mind was one time I was in the studios, and it was about dusk, and we were waiting to watch Sorcery in the Sky when they were showing Sorcery in the Sky every night. And I remember walking towards the Great Movie Ride. This was pre-Hat days, and it was dusk. It was kind of surreal, and I could hear a faint instrumental of Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and it was just so soothing and so calming. I'm thinking, oh man, this really gets everybody in a nice, really comfortable mood. And I've often thought that was the best background music I've ever heard in a Disney park.
I agree. I love that Hollywood Boulevard loop that you just mentioned. Somewhere Over the Rainbow they have also lots of Superman. What's that Western? The Magnificent Seven.
Blazing Saddles?
Blazing Saddles. Yeah, let's start quoting some of that movie right now.
Hey.
I don't think we will. Beep, beep. But there's some great tracks over there. I really like those. So I totally agree with you, Mike. Annette, what about you?
I'm gonna sound like I'm just following Lynn and going, oh yeah, that. But I like the Magic Kingdom loop. You go in there and you feel like you're just kind of walking through time a little bit, and I can hang out on Main Street forever, just listening to that music.
And Newell, since I know you there's so many tracks, what's your favorite track right now? If you had to listen to one track on Mouse World Radio on any of your stations, maybe you just added something new. What's something that really stands out in your mind?
No, it's my all-time holy grail. It was the track that I was so looking for back in the day. It's the same track that was mentioned in the letter. It's the track played right outside Interventions. That track, to me, signifies Epcot. And it's that and Soarin' are my two all-time favorite music pieces.
I like Soarin'.
Yeah, it's beautiful music, Soarin'. And that's something you don't see a lot when that was like a major epic soundtrack for an attraction, and that's something you don't see too much anymore these days. So it's kind of awesome to hear. And don't forget,
email is from Vicky Cabello of Mechanicsville, Virginia. I've been a listener to the show for 2 years now. I felt the need to set the record straight regarding Disney's PhotoPass service. The discussion I've heard recently seems to discourage families from purchasing the pass for their vacations. I say, don't be so hasty in your dismissal of a great service. I personally used it twice in 08 and 09, and I feel it was well worth the purchase. Here's my top 10 reasons to consider purchasing the PhotoPass. Please share with your listeners. I've also included some photos taken by PhotoPass photographers, one of which I use for my Facebook profile pic. Thanks for all the laughs you provide each week and the helpful park tips. So here's her top 10 reasons why.
10?
What?
10?
10 reasons. Number 10, you're guaranteed to have pics of your entire family, including mom and dad. Number 9, availability online to add props, backgrounds, and Disney borders galore to enhance your photos. Having a photo diary of your entire vacation capturing highlights from each day's experiences in the parks you can go back to again and again. Photographers are usually more than willing to set up a scene to ensure a great shot. Princesses, and more princesses, most character dining and meet and greets have a photographer available. Ability to purchase prints, gifts from your favorite photo processing service, including holiday cards. You don't have to purchase from the official Disney PhotoPass site. Photographers are available in many areas of the parks and even resorts and aren't so hard to find either. Photographers operate professional digital cameras, so they do take nice quality shots. No limit on how many photos and versions of photos you can have on your CD. You can even add and upload your own digital files. And the number one reason that she likes to PhotoPass is photographers are nice to work with and provide a unique service that add a lasting touch to your Disney vacation. I think Vicky makes some great points, but I just think the service, it's still too expensive for my taste, especially considering how cheap you can get photos printed these days.
And not for nothing, you can ask any guest and go, hey, could you take a picture of us?
Not for nothing, you can have the photographers take a photo of you with your camera.
Yeah.
You can get the same exact shots. I just don't. They're nice, but it's so hard to rationalize the price. I mean, it would have to be a really, 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 really good photo. And even so, I always find the best photos are the impromptu photos. They're not the photos that you go, okay, let's everyone stand around over here and take, smile. It's more like hey, look, it's Annette with, gunk in her hair after going to Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique.
Yeah, that's my all-time favorite.
Next email is from Julianne Wright, Kennewick, Washington. Who writes, my family will be heading to Walt Disney World in the fall. I was recently at Disneyland, and I realized how important the right seat is on several of the rides. I asked for a front seat on Soarin', thinking that I was going to get a prime location, when actually I was the closest seat to the very edge of the screen on the leftmost erector set. Like the description.
Erector set.
If I would have known this, I would have asked for, or creatively aimed for, a seat in the middle section. I know Disney says every seat is a good seat, but I want the best seat. So I'm wondering, can I get your opinions on the best seats and why on popular attractions? Specifically, here are some, so we'll go through these. Soarin', top or middle?
Oh, top inside edge, like left or right inside edge. So the seat closest to the you don't want to be too far on the screen. You don't want to be in the extreme left or right because the screen doesn't look right.
Right.
But you want to be in the left or right erector sets because those move more than the one in the center, so you get a better sensation of.
You definitely want to be on the top. I think that's the most important because otherwise you get people's feet in your.
Yeah, you definitely want to be on the top. Yeah. Because you can. Plus, it's always fun to look down at other people.
Splash Mountain, where can you stay dry? Back row.
Back seat.
No, because the water cannon.
No, it depends.
Yeah, it depends. So I think
It depends upon who's sitting in the front seat too.
Yeah.
The way that the water cannons were firing this last time, the people in the front seats were getting wet, but I've seen it before where the people in the back. I just don't think there's a safe place to sit to not get wet in Splash Mountain.
Take your poncho.
Yeah, now maybe the back seat doesn't get as wet down the big drop, but it's negligible.
Yeah, I still think the back seat, but whatever. Dinosaur, are the corners different from the middle, more bouncy? I cry on the whole ride, so I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, probably. Because it's going to pivot about a central axis, so it's got to be, the corners have to be move up and down more.
Yeah.
So I want to sit.
Think about it. How would the middle move without one of the edges moving?
Right.
Well,
But the middle doesn't
heavy.
move that much, Like
How would the middle of the car move without one or the other edge moving as well?
Test track, front or back seat?
Oh wow.
Front.
Front, right?
Yeah.
I like the front,
Yeah.
so you can see everything. And
Right, exactly.
It's easier to brace for impact in the front.
Yeah, I think.
And there's more room.
That's the first time I've ever heard you recommend the front seat over the back seat.
Wah, wah.
As much as I could.
It's test track.
It's test track. Exactly.
Great movie ride. I think it's
I
got to
like
be the
this-
front.
I like to sit right next to the announcer and make smart comments back to them.
Yeah, the problem with the back, I find the Great Movie Ride is the narration you're hearing isn't matching up with where you are exactly.
Yeah,
Because those
Right.
back the stuff.
Trams
especially
are
the
too
stuff-
big.
Yeah,
The stuff
Yeah.
for aliens is
This
he's like
is Alien.
Yeah, they're giving you alien. You're hearing aliens. Or you're hearing Great Movie Ride stuff, but you're still in the alien scene.
yeah. It's not good.
Kilimanjaro Safaris.
Good one. I was on the longest.
I like to be on the
safari.
outside edges. I don't like being in the middle.
Yeah, I don't like being in the middle either. You get car sick.
What do you guys think? Right or left side of the truck?
Left.
Left. Because you go
Greater chance of seeing an alligator.
and you go around the
That's true. You get alligators on the left hand
you
side.
go around the lions on the left too. So you want to get a good shot
yeah,
of the
I
lions.
was
I was on the safari on I guess December 30th. Dude, it was the longest safari I've ever been.
Was it 2 weeks?
It felt like 2 weeks. It was a good 30, 40 minutes. There were 9 cars ahead of us that we could see on the savannah. It was incredible. They kept saying that, there's animals walking in the path. It's not animals, it's people. It was incredible. Go ahead.
People are animals.
And the last one, Turtle Talk with Crush if you want to interact.
Oh, up front.
Up front to the right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right about that, Mike. It always seems like they call on people on the right hand side of the
Yeah, for some
theater
reason.
more.
Yeah. Up front to,
I'm surprised they didn't ask about Expedition Everest or.
don't tell him. Don't say nothing. I'm kidding.
So I finally did Everest at night on I think the 30th.
How was that?
It's very cool at night, isn't it?
It's awesome at night, especially since they don't light the beginning part of the track up. It really feels spooky. Yeah, it was really, really good at night. I think it's a better attraction at night now.
Cool. Well, it's time for our last question of the day. That means I'll give Mr. Newell 3 emails to choose from. One gets read today. The other 2 go back into the email queue to be answered later. Ready, Mike?
Yes, sir.
And Mike, these questions have a theme this week.
Oh, these.
They are
frighten me.
salute to all of us, but mostly Len.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
Your options are: I hate math. Len, please make a decision for me.
I thought you were going to say, I hate Len.
Hey, Len, please, math, make a decision for me.
The Len, the Prince, and the Carousel. Or converting Disney haters.
Any preference, Len?
No, I'm good.
I like the second one, the Len, the Princess, and the Carousel.
All right. Last email of the day comes from Hale McSherry from Greenwich, Connecticut. Okay, I have some notes on some recent things you've been talking about on your show. One for Len. In episode 807, you claim to have been able to distinguish Scopa's Tower of Terror quote to be the narration from the pre-show video in Disney's California Adventure, not Disney's Hollywood Studios. But it is my understanding that both attractions have the same pre-show video and therefore the same narration. So Len, check on that. Yeah, Len.
Yeah, I was either drunk or kidding. I can't remember.
Or both.
Or both, whatever, yeah.
In the episode you discussed updating the Carousel Progress, I think I have a possible suggestion for the attraction. Last year, Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln made a return to Disneyland in California. The new name of the attraction is the Disneyland Story, presenting Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, as the lobby is more of a museum about Disneyland, and the attraction has a whole lot of focus on the original idea of the attraction and Walt Disney's fingerprints. As I understand it, as I have not experienced the attraction myself. However, the Carousel Progress is in its deteriorating updated state in Tomorrowland here. I think Disney should refurbish the ride to feature an updated form of the original attraction. Using an updated cast to run the original order of the scenes, including the original ending scene. This new version would focus on the historical and classic aspects of the attraction. There are some effects that apparently were hits in New York but didn't make it to the show in Disneyland. I think it's too late to take the attraction and keep it modern. People would be up in arms if the attraction was changed.
Newell, didn't we talk about this on the before the show, the last show that we recorded?
Yeah.
One of the things we want to do for a reunion as a meet is the idea we're kicking around is to get the original script for Carousel of Progress and do a meet where we all read off lines from the original Carousel of Progress in Carousel of Progress.
And we also said we wanted to do a
Rocky Horror.
Rocky Horror yeah.
version of it. Yeah,
That'd be great. If there's a cast member that works in Tomorrowland, send us an email, matt@wwt.com. Let's make that happen. That would be fun.
Yeah, we don't want
so
to bother the guests either. So
Yeah.
yeah. So like during the episode where the grandmother's watching TV and she's
give him a lift, you big lug.
Are you asleep, dear? And then it's go on, come on, you big lug, give him a lift, you big lug, or something like that. We can call out and say stuff like, what should he give him? Stuff like that.
Nice. And now for something completely different, Matt. Journey into Narnia, Prince Caspian. The little attraction in the studios. Is it still open? What do you have to say about it? I thought that it would be closing with Voyage of the Dawn Treader out in theaters at the time of writing this. And Disney isn't even one making the Narnia movies anymore. You're right. It's still there. It's still open. I think the reason why it's still there, first and foremost, is that Disney doesn't change attractions now unless someone pays them. They get money for a new attraction. I think that's one consideration, is that the money isn't there to do it for one reason or another. The other big issue from them more than anything is Star Tours is closed. And right now, just at the studios, they seem to be very cognizant of park capacity and ride capacity more specifically. They recently, during Christmas, they opened up a bunch of stuff. They delayed the Backlot Tour and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids rehabs that were due in January because I believe they were concerned about ride capacity. They just figured with Star Tours down and the attraction that's been reopened to, quote unquote, help that sounds dangerous, which obviously is not going to, draw the same kind of crowds. They want to have as much open as humanly possible. And the reason, they still have Narnia open, and I think everyone would have thought it would close by now, but it's just, they just, it is, I mean, still the Prince Caspian is still their film. But anyway, it's, I guess until someone ponies up the money to put something else different in there or they get a better idea, they'll keep it out there. Hale also starts one more question. Speaking of that space, what was in there before? I thought I had seen on All Ears or somewhere that they had a similar Journey to Attraction for the Haunted Mansion movie. Yeah, there was actually one for the first Narnia film. There was Haunted Mansion. There was 101 Dalmatians. These are all like making ofs. Like you go through and kind of showcase a few things in each space. Do you guys remember anything else that was in that space before?
Pirates no, that wasn't Pirates.
No. I remember Haunted Mansion, 101 Dalmatians. Of course, that space used to be part of the old Backlot tour, and then subsequently the Backstage Pass attraction, that walking tour.
Yeah.
I want to say, and I could be wrong on this, I want to say that was the room where you would go in and you would have the huge honeybee from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and they would show you how a green screen works and how they film that. I want to say that was that room, but
I think that is now the prop shop, Matt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I stand corrected. Thank you.
I love it, Mike, when we can correct him on, studio stuff.
Yep. circling my calendar right now.
Well, that's going to do it for us today. I want to remind all of our listeners about our sponsor, which is Mouse Fan Travel. And hey, Mouse Fan Travel's got a great deal right now. If you're going to be booking any trip 5 or more nights on a qualifying booking between January 1st, 2011 and September 30th, 2011, not only do you get a great deal on your vacation and great service, you're also going to get a free 1-year subscription to touringplans.com. That's right, free. So you're going to Disney World anyway. You're going to pay whatever it's going to cost to go there. You might as well get something for free. How cool is that? Check them out online at www.mousefantravel.com. If you find older episodes, read our show notes, or send us your comments, you can visit us online at wdwtoday.com. For Len Testa, Mike Scopa, Mike Newell, and the fabulous Annette Owens, I'm Matt Hochberg. We'll see you on the next show.
Stupid Judy, stupid energy.
This has been a production of Mouse World Radio.